Yo, what's good everyone? Thank you for tuning in to today's video. As you can tell by the title, we are back again with yet another review. It's been ages since we've actually done a review on this channel, and the reason for that is I just haven't been able to cop anything that's actually worth reviewing. Now, I'm always on the lookout to try and get fresh pairs to actually review for the channel, but these last couple of weeks have just been horrendous. Haven't been able to get a single shoe that I felt was actually worth your guys' time. Fortunately, that's all changing. We have 2 pairs that I'll be reviewing tonight in separate videos, and then I already have 4 brand new pairs coming in next week as well, so lots of exciting content this month. But I do want to apologise for the little bit of a delay. It is unfortunate, but just like a lot of you guys, I do cop a lot of L's, more L's than W's at this point, but we are just going to keep it moving and actually try and get straight into this one. But before I do that, just like I always do, I want to welcome back all of my returning subscribers. If you are new around here though, do make sure to smash that subscribe button so you never miss a video. If you do go on to enjoy this video, please give it a massive thumbs up, which is always truly appreciated. And if you do want to reach out to me outside of YouTube, you will be able to find me on Instagram under ACS Sneakers. So now we've got all those formalities out of the way, we now just go ahead and get straight into the video. So first things first, before we take a look at the shoes, let's just take a quick look at the shoe box. Now the box itself is a massive disappointment considering what is actually inside. You've probably already seen the shoes millions of times on Instagram and every other social media platform, but you've also seen it on the thumbnail as well, so no spoilers here. But the box is just super plain, super basic. So we have a quarter panel cut out, which is just cardboard, and then the other 3 quarters is done in like a greenish colour, which yeah, you can't really complain about. We then have a strip running through the middle, which actually reads LeBron James 18 Nike 2020 to 2021 Just Do It BBZ 330 with LeBron's branding. On this side of the box, we do also have a section which reads engineered to the exact specifications of LeBron James, which hopefully this will focus for you so you can see it. And then on the flip side of the box, we do have that Nike swoosh. Now, if we just then take a quick look at the label, which reads LeBron 18 Low in the white, black, Baltic blue colorway. And as you will be able to see on the size label, this is a UK 9.5, which is pretty much what I wear in all LeBron sneakers. Quick spoiler alert, I've only ever had the 8s and now the 18s, but we'll get into all the sizing stuff later on in the video. Now, on the inside of the box, we do have this really nice, kind of like waxy tissue paper. No design on it, but actually feels really nice and really thick.
That's what she said.
And then on the inside, we do have the sneakers. So if we now just go ahead and get straight into the review. So without any further ado, in hand, we have the LeBron 18 Low in the Stewie Griffin colorway. Now, before we actually dive into the actual review for this shoe, just as a quick recap for anybody that's not actually familiar with this specific colorway, the very first time we saw the Stewie Griffin colorway released on a LeBron sneaker was all the way back in 2009 with a LeBron 6 sample. Fast forward 9 years and we actually got to see the shoe with the King himself in 2018, and that was once again on the LeBron 6 sample. And then fast forward another couple of months and none other than PJ Tucker was actually seen wearing a pair on Christmas Day. Not even surprised at this point, that guy gets things before everyone else, so absolutely no surprise that he had that shoe as well.
You're goddamn right.
But we then had to wait a further 3 years to actually get an official release for the Stewie Griffin colorway. And as you can see, this isn't a LeBron 6, this is an 18. But either which way, I'm just glad that we finally have an official Stewie Griffin colorway. Now, for obvious copyright reasons, this isn't named the Stewie Griffin, but as you can probably see, this is definitely based on Stewie Griffin. They can't even argue it. It is what it is. But I'll be breaking this shoe down section by section so you get a good look at everything that you need to know before deciding whether or not this is actually a shoe you want for your own personal collection. So if we kick off this review starting out with the upper, now the upper does actually mix in hues of yellow, white and red to replicate Stewie's overalls, and this is done in a really nice light woven material. When I actually read the product description for this shoe before I got it in from Nike, I did actually read that it was actually orange instead of yellow. But just looking at it in hand, it definitely has more of a yellowish tint to it than orange. But if I'm seeing it wrong or if the lighting's changing how it overall looks, I do apologise. But definitely to me, this is yellow and not orange. Also, if memory serves as well, I'm pretty sure that Stewie's undershirt is actually yellow and not orange. But Don't quote me on that, it's been a long time since I actually watched Family Guy, but just for the purpose of this video, I'm going to call it yellow. The quality of the material itself, which is what I should really be focusing on, is absolutely fine. Not necessarily the most premium material underhand, but it's very lightweight, it's very breathable, and it definitely leans into the aesthetic of what this shoe is, which is primarily a basketball sneaker, which definitely focuses on performance over looks, but it's always nice when you actually do get a shoe that has a great colorway to mix in with that performance aspect as well. Now, obvious reasons, I'm not a basketball player, as you can see by the physique, but I do imagine that if you were wearing this for basketball, this would actually be a really great shoe based on some of the other basketball shoes that we've actually reviewed on this channel. And then mixing in with all this really nice vibrant color, we have a splash of blue around the toe as well as on the heel to replicate Stewie's sneakers. I thought that was a really, really nice touch, offsets it really well, and it actually works its way through the mudguard as well, which I thought was a really nice touch. So to tie in all these really bright and bold colours, we do actually have these really nice thick black outlines, which you will be able to see primarily running right the way throughout the upper. For me, it definitely gives it that really nice cartoon aesthetic, whilst kind of giving it like that 3D effect as well, which I'm honestly just a massive fan of. It looks fantastic in person, so much bolder and more vibrant than I personally expected. It's probably one of those things about the colorway that's not going to get any focus or any attention, but for me, the attention to detail on the actual upper is just spectacular. They've done an amazing job for me. I think it just looks absolutely incredible. Fireworks in September. People, man.
A few moments later.
Still going on. Still waiting.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Oh, hell.
One eternity later.
Yep, this is still happening. Hey, finale. But if we then just work our way up the shoe and take a look at the laces. Now, the laces are actually a combination of teal and black, which I personally think adds a really nice contrast to the rest of the upper. Unfortunately, we don't get any additional laces with this shoe, but honestly, I wouldn't swap it out. I don't think anything else necessarily would work as good as these do. And the actual quality of the laces is absolutely fine. They're a little bit thinner than most shoe laces, but other than that, absolutely no complaints. And the laces themselves are actually fed through this really nice white leather on the eye stays, which is always a really nice detail. Now, the laces do sit atop more of that mesh material, just like what we see on the toe box, and it's done in that exact same yellow color to match the toe box once again. And then just at the bottom portion of the laces, we do have that little LeBron detail, which once again is a really nice touch. As we then work our way up the laces to the top of the tongue, we do have a signature, which I do believe belongs to LeBron James himself. And then on the actual top portion of the tongue and actually reaching into the ankle collar, we do have this really nice black trim, which once again is another thing that adds a lot of contrast to the shoe, and it's another really nice subtle detail as well. But as we then work our way towards the back end of the shoe, which you will be able to see kind of adopts a completely different tone to the rest of the shoe, as it's done in just one solid block color, which is all white. If we then take a look at the actual heel of the shoe itself, we do have the LB23 branding, and then on the medial side of the heel, we do have this really nice embossed Nike swoosh. I had no idea it was even there until I started to do the up close looks of the shoe, but just keeping it in theme with the rest of the video, once again a really nice touch for this shoe. Now, around the actual ankle collar, both on the outside as well as on the inside, is just incredibly well padded. As you will be able to see, as it is really nicely defined, we do have that really nice padding on the outside. And if we do just take a look at the actual inside of the shoe, we do have incredibly thick ankle pillows on the inside sock liner. Now, this is even thicker cushioning than what we see on the Jordan 1 Comforts. And when I was actually getting the shoe on for the first time, it was incredibly difficult to actually bed my feet into this shoe. These pillows are incredibly thick and incredibly cushioned, but when you actually get the shoe on feet, because of how padded it actually is, it just feels incredible. It's very, very comfortable, but it is one of those things to bear in mind that it is a little bit tricky to get on for the very first time. And that leads us really nicely onto the sizing for this shoe, as anybody who's seen any of my other LeBron reviews will know I always go a half size up, both in the LeBron 8s as well as the 18 now as well. And I do feel like that was definitely the best outcome for me. If I'd have gone true to size, this shoe wasn't going on, no doubt about it. specifically because of that all that cushioning at the heel, but also because of how it kind of feels a little bit narrow in the midfoot area. In the toe, there's loads of room. It feels absolutely fine there. But in general, it felt a little bit it feels a little bit narrow to me. It may not be to everybody, but I do have wide feet. So when I got these on, it did feel a little bit narrow to me. So if you are looking for any sizing recommendations and you do have wide feet, I definitely would suggest going at least a half size up. If you are more of a narrow footer and you do like that tighter feel, this is definitely a shoe I would recommend going true to sizing, and I do think that that would be the best outcome for you. But if we then just continue to work our way further inside the shoe, unfortunately I'm not able to get the insole out, so for this occasion you'll just have to take my word for it. If I can find any images, I'll just throw them up on screen. But on the actual inside of the shoe, on the insole, we have this really nice red colour with the blue and black LeBron branding. But if we then just work our way down to the midsole, we do have a full-length Nike React midsole paired with an Air Max unit at the heel. Now, according to Nike, this is for responsiveness paired with impact cushioning as well. And like I've already touched on, extremely comfortable on feet. Nike React midsoles are always generally very good, according to my kids as well as my missus, and definitely I do take their word for it because unfortunately I've never owned a pair. But if we then switch over to the outsole of the shoe, we do have once again a really nice combination of colours with sand, white, black, with that really vibrant hit of red just underneath the midfoot. And other than that, we've just about covered everything that I feel like is actually worth covering on this shoe. So if we now just go ahead and wrap up this video. So just to wrap up this video, in terms of my overall opinion on the shoe itself, in terms of a rating, I'm going to give these a pretty reasonable 7 out of 10. The reason I'm not giving it a slightly higher grade, because I absolutely love the colourway, I think it's been executed to perfection, is simply because it's not necessarily the most wearable shoe in the world for a lot of people. I'm always considering you guys in my decision to give these a grade. Because I do feel like whatever grade I give them may actually impact whether or not you will actually buy them or not. For me, it's just not necessarily the most wearable shoe, and I do know that a lot of people aren't really interested in sneakers that are specifically designed for basketball. Now, obviously, Jordans were designed for basketball, but it's been 30 odd years, and they're definitely now lifestyle sneakers over actual playing sneakers for basketball. And things like the Currys, the Enquiries, and the LeBron 18, they're definitely not seen too often as far as lifestyle is concerned. So that's why I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. As far as the colourway is concerned, 10 out of 10. We finally have an official release of a Stewie Griffin, and I just think as far as a collector's concerned, this is a must-have shoe. I'm really glad to have it in the collection. I personally will try my best to actually wear this shoe as often as I can do. Have no idea when and where I'm actually going to wear it, but definitely a shoe I'm glad to have in the collection at least. I'd love to get your guys' opinions on it as well, so do make sure to leave me a comment in the comment section below, and I will make sure to respond, which is always appreciated whenever you guys leave your thoughts. And if you have stuck around to this point in the video, I do want to say a massive thank you. If you haven't already, please feel free to smash that subscribe button. Also, do make sure the bell notification is switched on so you never miss a video, and I hope to see you all again in the next one.